Welcome back to the deep dive. You've heard the buzz, you've seen the headlines, and chances are you use a large language model like ChatGPT, well, probably every single day. But here is the critical insight we need to start with. The AI you are using today, the one that just sits there waiting for you to ask it a question, is already, well, it's approaching obsolescence.
That is the necessary shift in perspective. It really is. We are rapidly moving past these simple, reactive chatbots. We're in a transition that is fundamentally changing the nature of work itself.
Right.
Machines are ceasing to be mere tools that just wait for your command. They're becoming autonomous, self-initiating, goal-seeking teammates.
So our mission today is, I think, highly actionable. We're going to cut through all the hype surrounding AI to give you a clear, specific, and tactical roadmap for entering what is probably the most disruptive field right now, Agentic AI.
Yep.
We've synthesized a huge body of expert research, technical deep dives, and some really foundational lectures on this transformation.
And this deep dive, it really rests on two crucial pillars of knowledge. First, you have to redefine your relationship with AI, moving from being a passive consumer to an active trainer.
Okay.
And second, we will provide a breakdown of the 10 most valuable career paths emerging in this field. And this is for everyone, whether you're a programmer, a business analyst, or a creative professional.
And this is really urgent, isn't it?
It is. I mean, if you are currently doing an entry-level, white-collar job, be it basic coding, customer service, or initial research, the autonomous machine is already poised to do it better, faster, and dramatically cheaper.
Wow.
So understanding this evolution is, it's the critical first step to securing your relevance.
Okay, let's unpack this transformation. I think we have to start with the fundamentals. When we talk about AI at its core, what are we really talking about?
At its heart, it's the simulation of human intelligence, programming computers to think, learn, and solve problems like humans do.
And for decades, that was mostly what we called narrow AI, right?
Exactly. Narrow AI. It was powerful, but highly specialized. It could be a human at chess. It could filter your email spam with near perfection, but it couldn't transfer that skill to writing poetry or managing a complex project.
One task, one system.
One task, one system. That's it.
The ultimate long-term dream, of course, is artificial general intelligence, or AGI. That broad, human-like intelligence that can do any intellectual task a human can.
And while AGI, it remains the theoretical finish line, the breakthroughs in deep learning and neural networks over the last decade have just rapidly closed the gap. But to understand why agentic AI is the current frontier, we really need to trace this linear path of increasing autonomy, starting from the very beginning.
And we have to grasp this path, this six-stage path, because it clearly illustrates that agentic AI isn't just a slightly better app, it's a fundamental leap.
It's a leap in the machine's independence, absolutely. So we start with the lowest level of autonomy, dating back decades, with stage 1, descriptive AI.
Descriptive.
Its only job was answering the question, what happened? This is your basic business intelligence, data visualization, simple reporting. You feed it data, it plots results on a chart. Zero autonomy.
Right. And moving on from there, we get to stage 2, perceptive AI.
Yeah, this is the AI that senses the world. It's what powers image recognition or, converts your speech into text on your phone. It perceives input, but it has a very, very low autonomy. It senses, but the human makes all the decisions.
Still human-led. Okay, so stage 3 introduces a critical component, prediction.
This is predictive AI. It asks what will happen next. These are your complex forecasting models predicting stock trends, estimating customer demand, or predicting when a factory machine will fail.
So they're looking forward, but they're not taking action.
Exactly. They still operate with low autonomy because they offer a prediction, not an action plan.
Which brings us to stage 4, which starts to suggest action. This is prescriptive AI.
Right, asking what should we do? Autonomy here is, let's say, medium. Think of your GPS recommending 3 different routes based on traffic.
Or a recommendation engine on a shopping site.
Perfect example. The AI proposes the optimal solution, but a human has to ultimately accept that prescription and, hit buy or take the turn.
And stage 5 is what most of us are using right now.
Yes. This is the current mainstream experience. This is pragmatic AI. These are your contextual assistants, like the basic ChatGPT interface or your voice assistant.
So you have moderate autonomy.
Moderate, yeah. They consider goals and constraints, they can hold a conversation, and they can perform limited actions if you specifically tell them to. They can generate code, but they are fundamentally passive. They wait.
They wait for your command. And that brings us to the big one, the disruptive leap. Stage 6, agentic AI.
This is the current frontier. These systems are defined by their ability to self-initiate, to seek goals. They operate with high, sometimes fully delegated autonomy.
So the agent doesn't wait for your next line of dialogue.
No, you give it a mission, and it takes the first step toward that goal without any further prompting.
Let's make that concrete with the travel example. It really clarifies the difference.
It does. Okay, so if you use a stage 5 pragmatic AI, you might ask, find me flights to Dubai next month. It gives you a list, and then what do?
You have to do all the work. You take the list, go to a booking site, manually compare hotels, check visa rules, put it in your calendar.
Right. It's a lot of manual steps.
Yeah.
The Agentic AI, stage 6, operates completely differently.
So what's the prompt there?
You give the agent a single high-level prompt. Plan an affordable 3-day trip to Dubai next month focusing on culture and keep the total budget under $2,000.
One sentence.
One sentence. The agent gets this high-level goal and autonomously breaks it down into subtasks. Search flights, book flight. Search hotels, book hotel. Check visa status, update calendar.
And it just does all of that.
It executes the entire chain of action. It calls the airline APIs, books the accommodation with your credentials, handles the digital paperwork, and it only comes back to you when the mission is done or if a critical choice has to be made that's outside its guardrails.
That comprehensive, independent execution that is the agentic shift.
That's the shift.
And that shift from a passive tool to an independent agent, it has to completely redefine how we interact with technology. It means the old way, treating AI like a super-powered search bar, is just obsolete.
It is. The sources call this the flawed asker-giver model.
The asker-giver model.
And it's fundamentally broken for goal-seeking agents. In that paradigm, you prompt a language model, it gives you an output, and you usually respond in one of 3 unproductive ways. You either copy the output wholesale without checking, you discard it because it's bad, or you waste a ton of time doing the bare minimum cleanup required.
And I think anyone who spent hours in a refinement loop with a chatbot knows exactly what that feels like. It feels like you're fighting the tool, not collaborating with it.
That's because the model, as the sources point out, is like asking for clarity. You just accept whatever is provided without enforcing quality or, making sure it adheres to your specific internal standards.
And that relationship guarantees the AI system will never really mature into a valuable asset that's tailored to you.
No.
So, if we have to abandon that asker-giver dynamic, how should we restructure our interaction? What's the new model?
The correct model is the teammate model. Specifically, you must treat the AI as a highly intelligent but largely untrained junior colleague.
A junior colleague.
Let's walk through a quick scenario. Imagine you task your junior subordinate with creating a high-stakes client-facing market analysis report. They come back with a flawed product.
The data visualization is confusing, the conclusion is weak.
Exactly. And they used a public data source, not the proprietary one you told them to use. Now what do?
Well, you wouldn't just redo the work yourself. You probably wouldn't fire them on the spot. You'd provide constructive criticism.
Exactly. You give specific iterative feedback. You'd say, the color scheme is too distracting, change it to meet our brand guidelines. The formula for ROI here is wrong, fix it. And you use dataset A, go back and rerun the whole thing using our proprietary dataset B, like I said in the brief.
So you're training them. You're training them to meet your specific quality standards and understand the context of your organization. And that requires consistent effort from the human manager.
It does. And here is the truly crucial insight from the source material about AI teammates. AI teaches AI.
What does that mean?
Unlike traditional software, Word won't teach you Excel, Python won't teach you Java, an agentic AI can literally analyze its own failures and tell you how to prompt it better.
So you can ask it for feedback on your own performance.
Yes, you can ask your system, my last 5 outputs were subpar. Analyze my prompts and tell me how I can restructure my request to deliver higher quality, more relevant results next time. It becomes a meta coach. It guides your own proficiency.
That's remarkable. The tool includes the curriculum for mastering the tool. It's a self-improving system.
And this creates what we call the network effect within your personal or organizational AI system. Every piece of feedback you give, every correction you enforce, makes your customized agent smarter based on your specific needs.
So if your system is giving you the same generic quality output it did a year ago,
the failure lies not with the machine. It lies with your failure to actively train and govern it.
this sounds like a real commitment, almost a new discipline required in professional life.
It is. And the sources offer a compelling metric here by applying the 10,000 hours rule.
The mastery rule.
Right. That rule applies directly to AI training. Spending 10,000 hours in deep, disciplined interaction with your AI system, treating it like that junior teammate, is described as the pathway to guaranteed financial success in this new economy.
And even less than that makes a difference.
Oh, absolutely. Even an investment of 2,000 to 5,000 hours will yield significant, demonstrable professional results. This is about dedicated application and continuous refinement, not just casual use.
We've established the relational shift required. Now let's dig into the technical foundation. What are the non-negotiable components happening under the hood when an agentic AI takes initiative?
Okay, so agentic AI systems have to be defined by their ability to reason, plan, and act with high autonomy. If those three things are missing, it's not a true agent.
And the sources pinpoint 5 key characteristics.
Yes. First is autonomy completing tasks without constant human oversight. Second, decision-making complex reasoning, evaluating trade-offs. Third, planning the agent has to be able to formulate multi-step strategies, like a chess grandmaster mapping out moves ahead.
Okay, and fourth is action with tools.
Right. It has to be able to connect to the outside world, to external APIs and systems like booking engines or your CRM to actually get things done.
And the final one, which is key to that training loop, is adaptability.
Yes, adaptability. The learning loop,
Yeah.
the ability to learn from every outcome, every piece of feedback, constantly improving its model of the world and its efficiency.
This sounds like it's directly mimicking the human cognitive process.
Yeah.
And our sources detail a fantastic framework for this, the SPAR cycle.
The SPAR cycle sense, plan, act, and reflect, is the agent's core operating loop. It's how it thinks. Let's use an example, like a human buying a car.
Okay. First, the human senses. They gather data, they check their bank account, they read car reviews, they look at local inventory. The AI does the same, asking, what is my environment like right now?
So once it has the data, the agent moves to plan.
It analyzes the requirements and decides on the optimal sequence of steps. It calculates trade-offs. For the car, the plan might be: Step 1, get pre-approved for a loan. Step 2, test drive 3 specific models. Step 3, negotiate the price. It's all internal reasoning.
Next up is the execution phase, act.
The agent executes the plan using its tools. It calls the bank's API to apply for the loan. It interfaces with the dealership scheduling system to book a test drive. This is where it interacts with the real world, just like a human arm reaching out to grab a coffee mug.
And finally, the step that's essential for improvement, reflect.
The agent learns from the outcome. Did the loan get approved? Was the final price higher than expected? The agent assesses, was my plan effective? Where were the errors? And that reflection process is what allows the agent to improve its planning for the next time. It's the basis of reinforcement learning. So if the agent is handling all this complex planning and execution, the human developer's role has to be changing fundamentally. If the machine is writing more and more of the code, where does the human value shift to?
The developer's role is shifting dramatically. It's moving from being a low-level coder, writing explicit instructions for everything, to becoming an orchestrator of systems.
An orchestrator.
Yeah. We already know AI is taking over coding tasks. Conservative estimates say 30% of new code at major software companies is already AI written, just supervised by a human. That number is only going up.
So the ability to write perfect syntax is becoming less valuable than the ability to manage complexity.
Exactly. The focus now is on system design, data structure, defining the high-level goals, and setting the ethical guardrails. The orchestrator has to understand the whole workflow, how different agents interact, where they pull their data from, and how to structure that whole multi-step process.
Which means prompt engineering is the new core skill.
It is the critical skill gap that must be filled. It is the new programming language for orchestrators.
And since we're giving these agents so much autonomy, there's a huge risk of them going off the rails. This is where safety mechanisms like reinforcement learning with human feedback, RLHF, come in.
RLHF is absolutely non-negotiable for safety and alignment. Think of it like a quality control process. The AI does the work, but humans provide the critical judgment and evaluation. It's like grading an essay the AI wrote. The AI learns from the grade, but the human provides the rubric, defining what good and safe actually mean.
The sources refer to this as needing AI babysitters.
And you do. If an autonomous agent goes wrong, and it will, the real world is complex. Someone has to be accountable. Someone has to be able to explain the precise point of failure.
This requires building guardrails.
Precise guardrails. Think of it like building a fence around a pasture. If you give an intelligent animal autonomy without defining the boundary walls, it will cause damage. The sources caution that an agent without guardrails will maximize efficiency at the cost of unintended, sometimes catastrophic, consequences.
And since these agents are designed to act across different business domains, HR talks to finance, which talks to supply chain, the orchestrator needs to be a polymath.
The days of the pure coder who knows nothing about business flow or HR regulations are, well, they're ending. You have to have awareness of the entire business ecosystem to design effective hybrid systems. The focus shifts from optimizing code to optimizing complex human-system interaction and governance.
We've established the what and the how.
Yeah.
Now let's get to the urgency. Why must you, the listener, pivot your career right now?
The motivation is rooted in massive gains in efficiency, cost savings, and scalability. But the most immediate threat and the biggest opportunity is the transformation of the job market.
Okay, you mentioned 83 million roles being eliminated. That sounds like panic-inducing hype. Are these roles fully eliminated or just restructured?
That's a vital point of friction in the sources, and they make a distinction. The roles themselves, accountant, paralegal, entry-level coder, are categorized as eliminated because the core tasks that define that job can be fully automated.
So they won't need 10,000 junior analysts anymore.
They may need 10 AI orchestrators to manage the system that does the work of those 10,000.
Give us the stark numbers again.
The forecasts are sobering. Global studies show 17% of existing jobs in one country could be eliminated by 2030, rising to 32% in another major economy, and potentially hitting 45% in certain specialized Western economies. That total figure of 83 million job roles, entire categories, could be automated.
So the human element isn't necessarily replaced. The job definition is replaced.
Exactly. But here's the paradox. While those 83 million roles vanish, nearly 400 million new roles will be created.
But they're different.
Fundamentally different. They all require AI fluency. You won't be an accountant, you'll be an AI accountant. You won't be a developer, you'll be an AI developer. The sources are crystal clear on this. If you lack the AI component, your existing skills are not enough.
AI won't replace humans, but humans who leverage AI will replace those who don't.
That's the mantra. Absolutely.
Beyond the job market, Agentic AI also promises drastically improved decision-making.
Oh, it's about systemic transformation, not just local optimization. Think about the self-driving car example again. An autonomous car can brake in milliseconds, far beyond human reaction time.
Right.
That capability doesn't just make the car safer, it changes city planning. It changes traffic flow, increasing road capacity, reducing congestion, and making accident rates plummet.
And fewer accidents means lower insurance claims.
Which fundamentally alters the entire health and auto insurance industries. It's a domino effect.
So this is an incremental improvement, it's a category change.
It is a drastic change. The sources use these powerful historical analogies. The tractor didn't evolve from continuously improving the plow. It was a totally new invention that replaced the category of manual field work.
The light bulb didn't come from improving the candle.
Exactly. Agentic AI is that same transformative, discontinuous leap for e-commerce, for enterprise resource planning, for every supply chain system we have. We are not upgrading current systems, we are replacing them entirely with autonomously managed ecosystems.
And the market is moving incredibly fast to implement this.
The speed is terrifying. Gartner predicts that enterprise agentic AI adoption will jump from less than 1% in 2024 to a massive 33% by 2028.
In just a few years.
A few years. And the technical frontier is already moving beyond just building the large language models themselves and into LLM-ops.
We need to define LLM-ops for the listener.
LLM-ops, or large language model operations, is basically the factory floor for deploying agents at scale. It merges MLOps, machine learning operations, and DevOps. It's the infrastructure you need to deploy, monitor, and govern multiple complex agents running at the same time.
And this is a hot skill?
Mastering LLM-ops is viewed in the sources as a near guarantee of employment because companies are aggressively hiring for this specialized skill set all over the world.
The democratization of AI through no-code and low-code platforms. Things like Lovable, Delphi.ai, or custom GPTs, that seems like the most accessible entry point for non-programmers.
It absolutely is, but a word of caution is necessary. No code does not mean no skill. While these platforms remove the need to learn Python syntax, they dramatically increase the need for analytical thinking, deep domain expertise, defining crystal clear goals, and iterative refinement.
So prompt engineering is still the core skill.
It remains the core cognitive skill, even if you're just dragging and dropping components. The platforms eliminate the syntax barrier, not the logic barrier.
So the goal for you, the listener, is to prove you can orchestrate an agent no matter what tools you use.
Precisely. The challenge is to automate a real-world, meaningful task. For example, build an agent that manages your professional inbox. It filters priority emails, drafts suggested responses based on your tone and knowledge base, and automatically syncs meetings to your calendar.
And it only notifies you if there's a problem.
Right. A task like that forces you to master goal definition, external tool connection, and orchestration, the core skills of the agentic AI era.
This is the core actionable value proposition of this deep dive. We are providing a detailed breakdown of 10 distinct high-demand career paths, ensuring there's a clear entry point for everyone.
And we have to emphasize the first step. Select the path that leverages your existing domain expertise. Don't try to retrain as a researcher from scratch if you have 20 years in marketing. Become an AI marketer. Let the AI augment your knowledge. Don't compete with it.
Okay, let's start with the most immediate and accessible route. Path 1, the no-code, low-code agentic AI builder.
This is the perfect entry point for consultants, solopreneurs, anyone without a programming background. The objective is rapid deployment building specialized, task-based apps using visual, drag-and-drop tools. The core skill is just understanding workflow orchestration.
What are the specific tools and what's the learning curve like?
You're looking at tools like Lovable.dev, which is great for simple agents, Flowwise AI, which gives you a visual interface for more complex flows, CustomGPT.ai for customizing agents on specific data.
And you can even use things like Zapier.
Right, Zapier combined with OpenAI for simple automation chains, and the time to relevance here is minimal. The sources say focused individuals can achieve basic mastery in just 2 to 8 weeks.
2 to 8 weeks. Wow.
The roles are things like AI workflow designer or indie agentic app developer. You can start creating monetizable solutions almost immediately.
Okay, moving to the other end of the technical spectrum. Path 2 is the agentic AI developer engineer.
This is for the highly skilled. Coders, ML engineers, experienced full-stack developers. This requires deep prior experience. Your objective is building complex, multi-agent systems with long-term memory and sophisticated planning.
And what does their technical stack look like, and what's the reward?
They need Python mastery, and crucially, they work with orchestration frameworks like LangChain, Autogen, or CrewAI. They also use vector databases like Pinecone or Weaviate. These are specialized databases for storing context and memory.
So the agent can remember things.
Exactly. It remembers what it did 6 weeks ago. This path takes 3 to 6 months of focused learning, assuming you have the coding background. But the payoff is staggering. Starting salaries at leading tech companies are reported to be between $700,000 and $1.2 million per year.
Incredible. Path 3 is for those dedicated to pushing the boundary of knowledge, the AI researcher.
This is the academic elite. You need a minimum of an MSc, but really it's a PhD. Their objective is to push the frontier of autonomy, reasoning, and planning, often focusing on making agents safer or more efficient.
What tools are they focused on?
They work on the deep learning stack PyTorch or JAX, and they're focused on sophisticated alignment techniques like TRL or DPO, which are advanced methods for making models adhere to human preferences. They're publishing research.
Path 4 is for those with a strategic, user-focused mindset, the AI product manager strategist.
This is a highly valuable role. Traditional PMs, entrepreneurs, domain experts excel here. They don't code the agent, they define the mission, the user experience, and the guardrails. Their objective is to design and ship agent-powered products, often known as co-pilots.
What specific skills do they need?
They have to master conversational UX designing interfaces for autonomous systems. They use design tools like Figma, and they must be proficient in tracking agent performance with analytics platforms like Mixpanel or Amplitude to see if the agent is actually meeting its goals.
Path 5 sounds like a truly creative intersection. Creative technologist, content creator.
This is where creatives, writers, and filmmakers find their niche. Their goal is to use agents for immersive storytelling, creating virtual influencers, or designing hyper-personalized educational tutors.
Can you give us some specific tools they would use?
Absolutely. They're using 11 Labs for hyper-realistic AI voice synthesis, Runway ML for generative video, and platforms like In-World AI for creating persistent, believable character agents that maintain memory and personality.
And there's funding for this.
There is. Major institutions are now offering competitive grants specifically for AI content creators to accelerate this new creative medium.
Okay. Path 6 is the crucial safety mechanism for the entire industry. Agentic AI ethics and alignment expert.
This role has a very high academic barrier. Often a PhD is required because of the depth of philosophical and technical knowledge needed. Their objective is non-negotiable. Ensure agent alignment, safety, and accountability. They design those critical guardrails we talked about.
I understand there's significant global demand for this skill set.
Unprecedented demand. These experts are hired by global governments, major defense institutions, the UN, the World Bank. Because an agent operating autonomously at scale in finance or defense must be perfectly aligned with institutional values. They use advanced testing tools like ARC evals and implement concepts like constitutional AI.
Path 7 is for the entrepreneurs, business development and operations.
These are the founders, the ops managers, the business grads who see market opportunity. Their objective is to commercialize the agents. They specialize in the AS model, agent as a service. It means packaging a specialized autonomous agent, say, an AI legal document reviewer, into a subscription product. They use no-code app layers like Bubble or Software for the UI, Stripe for payments, and Product Hunt for launch. They're focused on market fit and scaling.
Path 8 addresses the massive training deficit, educator, mentor, curriculum designer.
The global talent gap is vast. This means there's a huge demand for people who can teach those 2 to 8 week no-code paths, or the 3 to 6 month developer paths. Instructors teaching even high school levels of AI proficiency can command rates of $90 an hour or more.
Right.
Their job is to design accessible curricula and deliver high-quality training using tools like Tome or Gamma on platforms like Teachable or Thinkific.
Path 9 is conceptually the most fascinating, dealing with digital reality, simulators, and synthetic environment designers.
These are highly specialized roles, often game developers, policy modelers, advanced researchers. Their objective is to build massive digital worlds populated by millions of autonomous agents to simulate complex real-world systems.
We're talking about simulating entire economies or battlefields.
Entire national economies, urban traffic flows, complex military conflicts. The sources mention that geopolitical actions, like anticipating a response from a hostile state, are now run through these agentic simulations before any real-world action is taken.
That is immense.
It's a digital laboratory where policymakers can predict outcomes with a high degree of confidence, minimizing catastrophic risk. They use platforms like Unity ML agents or the Gamma platform.
And finally, Path 10, the person who connects everything at the highest technical level, Agentic AI System Integrator.
This is for MLOps architects and veteran DevOps engineers. It's extremely difficult. Their job is the orchestration of those complex multi-agent ecosystems we defined earlier, the full LLMI stack combined with agents.
And what tools are non-negotiable for them?
They have to master containerization like Docker, orchestration engines like Kubernetes, specialized LLMOps tools like Bentamel or Truss, and advanced orchestration frameworks like LangGraph. They are the backbone ensuring the entire system functions, scales, and stays robust.
That roadmap provides incredible clarity on the destination. Now we need the how. The sources offer a 9-step action plan that you, the listener, must follow once you select your path.
And these steps prioritize strategic structure over just chasing the newest tool. Number 1, who are you? Start with your existing domain expertise. If you have 2 decades in risk management, your path is the AI risk manager. Don't throw away your greatest asset, augment it.
Number 2, where's the field going?
You have to read foundational books, not just viral online threads. Read the industry reports, the foundational texts. It's crucial to aim for the long-term trend, especially when predictions say up to 78% of current generative AI approaches might be obsolete in 3 to 4 years.
So you need to aim for durable skills.
Like orchestration and governance, exactly. Third, what are the tools? Identify the 2 or 3 core tools for your path. If you're no-code, focus on Flowise and Custom GPT. If you're a developer, Python and LangChain, don't try to learn everything at once.
Fourth, find a niche.
Be hyper-specific. Don't be an AI marketer. Be an AI marketer focused only on user-generated content analysis. Specialization is where the opportunity is.
Fifth, create a tool.
The ultimate test of skill. Solve a real problem, and ideally monetize it. If you're an HR expert, create an agent that automates CV revision and interview scheduling. This forces you to integrate multiple tools and manage context.
Sixth, learn and practice.
Get hands-on immediately. Conceptual knowledge is worthless here. Only hands-on, iterative learning, building, breaking, and fixing will lead to mastery.
7th, read.
We have to reiterate this. It is irreplaceable. Relying on quick online searches or AI summaries is not enough to grasp the deep contextual knowledge needed for system design. Read the high-quality foundational books.
8th, write.
Documenting your learning journey, writing tutorials, summarizing your failures. It solidifies your understanding like nothing else.
And 9th, teach.
As we learned in Path 8, teaching is the final step in truly mastering a skill. Explaining complex concepts forces you to identify and fill your own knowledge gaps.
That roadmap is comprehensive. But zooming out, what are the absolute core learning methodologies you must embrace today, regardless of your chosen path?
First, start with fundamentals. You need a strong base. If you're starting fresh, take foundational AML courses. Even if you're a non-coder, if you're pursuing the technical paths, you have to learn Python. It's the lingua franca.
Okay.
Second, understand LLMs. Grasp the mechanics of models like GPT, how they predict text, and crucially, what their limitations are. You need to understand why they hallucinate plausible-sounding errors.
And the third skill, the most critical one for orchestration, is master prompting.
It's the new programming language, and it is still dramatically underrated. Learn advanced techniques like explicit role-playing, providing specific constraints, and offering detailed few-shot examples. Take the specialized courses, even the free ones from leading AI companies, to master this.
And fourth, hands-on projects for your portfolio.
They're mandatory. Build small projects immediately. But importantly, look for free, short, virtual internships offered by companies in the AI space. They are invaluable.
Why are they so valuable?
Because they give you structured problems, real institutional data, and a certificate upon completion. That demonstrates practical skill to employers far better than just a static CV.
To summarize the entire technical landscape one last time, let's quickly define the 5 critical tool clusters that form the Agentic AI ecosystem.
Understanding these clusters helps you decide where to specialize. First, orchestration. The frameworks that chain agents together. Tools like LangChain, Autogen, Crew AI.
Second, interaction.
These are the large models and media tools the agents use to perform tasks. ChatGPT, Claude, 11 Labs. Third, storage. The essential databases for memory and context, typically vector stores. Pinecone, ChromaDB, Supabase.
Fourth, deployment.
The infrastructure tools to package, launch, and scale agents. Docker, Kubernetes, Replit. And finally, fifth, monitoring. The systems required to supervise the agents and ensure they stay within those guardrails. Tools like TrueLens and PromptLayer.
And you don't have to master all 5. You just have to select a focus and become an expert in that chosen layer, using your domain expertise to solve real problems.
That's the key.
This has been an essential deep dive into the most transformative field in technology today. We've established that the Agentic AI revolution is not optional, but an immediate tidal wave of transformation.
And the clear path forward is to stop being a passive consumer of AI output. You must transition to becoming an orchestrator and a trainer of your AI teammates. It requires dedication, but the good news is the runway for entry, especially in those no-code and business paths, is incredibly short.
Your urgent action item is clear. Select one of the 10 paths we detailed today. If you are non-technical, choose the no-code path and spend the next 2 to 8 weeks mastering a tool like Lovable or Custom GPT. Start practicing today, because the time to pivot is now.
And as a final provocative thought for you to mull over as you begin this journey, we discussed the power of simulation, particularly in Path 9. If highly autonomous agents can accurately simulate complex geopolitical conflicts, economic policies, social behaviors, to the point where leaders can predict outcomes with high fidelity, what happens to the role of elected human officials? If the most optimal policy is consistently produced by the predictive AI systems they secretly consult, will human governance slowly become a function of these autonomous agents, merely ratifying decisions made in a synthetic environment?
So the real decisions are made by the simulation.
The future of policymaking may not be in the legislature or the cabinet room, but in the simulated reality built by autonomous agents.
A compelling and slightly unsettling thought for the future. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Agentic AI. Now go apply this knowledge immediately.